Welcome back to another episode of Wine After Whines. This is Janay.
This is Najah.
And we're back with some merch. Look, first of all, I couldn't wait to be like, we got some merch. Cause
I know you was ready, girl.
So now, what?
No, I'm just saying, like, we back with merch, a new background for you. I mean, we just in there like swimwear.
Oh, girl, I'm in my office today. So I'm usually recording out of my bedroom, but today I'm recording in my office. Welcome to my office. I got a little camera equipment in here. Got some pictures down there this way that I haven't put up yet. My printer, my cabinet. Welcome. And I have this glass of wine.
Ooh, me too.
Cheers. Cheers to a great show.
Yes. Listen, she in her office. I'm always in my office, y'all. I probably need to get me a new scenery too, but we gonna work on that. But that's beside the point. Just look at these shirts. Get into them. Get into them.
If you'd like to purchase a shirt, let us know. We got merch on deck.
I have a wonderful person who works on this stuff. I think Janay know people, and just let us know. We got you.
Yeah, so if you're listening to us via Apple Podcast or Google Podcast or anything like that, go ahead and slide over to YouTube so you can see the goodness that is in front of you today. All right. Also, let's recap a little bit about our weekend.
Yes.
It was busy. And we tired, boss.
We tired.
We did a photo shoot for this this new merch that's coming out. It's called Tsunami Season. The name of the actual brand is Tsunami Drip or Tsunami Season.
I believe the merch is Tsunami Drip.
Yes.
You'll see on the clothes and everything else that he have to come with it, but it's Tsunami Drip. But
and then the line, this segment, I guess, is called Love Season. So we did like a little bit of reenacting of love and basketball, some of those scenes.
Janay did that. It was fire. I believe this photo shoot went very, very, very well. We had two great models. Shout out to them. They did it. Like, they put shyness aside and made it happen. I really, really enjoyed this photo shoot. Let me say this, out of all the photo shoots we've done, this one was the most fun. And we got to work with two people. The most dangerous one we did was at the waterfall. Well, we had to climb down rocks, but it was out of our comfort zone, and we did that one too. But this one right here was super fun, super dope.
Yeah. So for those of you who do not know, me and Najah also partner in Janay Monique Photography. And go and follow us on Instagram, Janay Monique Photography. And if you need us to shoot you, we'll shoot y'all. We can do engagements, photo shoots. We can do, if you have a podcast, you need podcast pictures, photo shoots, we can do that. If you need, what else is, if you have a product line, we can help you shoot that. So hit us up. We dibble and dabble.
A little something. So y'all look out for that. It's like I said, she has an eye for it. It's amazing. So I enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm. Look out for it. It'll be on my page. So
yes.
We'll post some BTS for y'all at some point.
Yes. So did you enjoy it though? How did you like it? I didn't ask you.
I always love shooting. It's the creative side that I get to do. Like I feel like I have a good eye. You know, some people, when you look at photographers, everybody has their own style, and I feel like I have my own little style, but I can do photography for free, which is why I feel like it's something that
to love.
I should probably pursue more than I do. And I don't go and look for it. Don't do that. I don't look for it and I don't pursue it as much. And I probably should look into trying to perfect my craft. I still feel like I'm an amateur photographer, but you know, I get it together.
You do amazing shoots, so
I appreciate it.
I know.
Shout out to Porter Shields. Shout out to Dale. And shout out to Amaya for an amazing shoot. I really appreciate it. And major kudos to you for coming to assist on the shoot. And Marcus Blue Vision Photography. And also my lovely sister, Cornelia, for helping from behind the scenes. I really appreciate you guys.
Yes, we had a great time. Y'all.
Now that that's out of the way.
What are we moving on to, Janay? Because I don't want to talk about it.
We're moving on into disappointment, hurt, and shame, and all of that, which was the Verzus that did not happen this weekend. If you don't know what we're talking about, Ashanti and Keisha Cole were supposed to battle in this Verzus. I was ready to be like, I remember when my heart broke, and then I remember I was gonna be like, baby, 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 baby. And I didn't get none of that. Thank you. And I didn't get to do none of that. So I was highly upset.
Yeah, so they said it's rescheduled for January 9th or something like that. I'm gonna look it up again, but it's like for January. So we still got a little minute before we get to it. If you don't know, Ashanti has COVID.
Yeah.
I hear a lot of people went in on Twitter. I didn't see personally. I'm not sure if Janay saw, but they said they went in on her on Twitter because not to just be 100% mean, I guess, I don't know, but they said she was just out of the country, no mask, just all out there. And I went to her page after I saw that people were posting that she was out of the country, no mask. I went and I saw her. Looked like she was on some tropical island. I don't know if it was old or new, but it did look like she was on some type of tropical island, no mask. As a matter of fact, I don't recall seeing her with any mask on any of her pictures, but I mean, she's a celebrity.
A mask off to take the picture. We don't know what she was doing the whole time.
Exactly. That's what I'm like, so we can't really get too upset with her, but
I was upset because I was at my sister's house celebrating my mom's 50th birthday. My mom turned 50 this weekend. Woo. I feel old now. I feel old because she seems older, so it makes me feel older. But anyway, so yeah, we was at my sister's house, and I was like, okay, guys, I'm about to go home so I can get situated for my Verzus. And my brother-in-law pulls up the clip of her saying, yeah, I got tested positive for COVID-19, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, so she's not going to do it? Like, she can't do it from her house? I'm confused.
I think the thing that got me was I hadn't been on social media for a couple hours that day, and I signed as soon as I was like, I cooked dinner. I had cooked dinner. We ate late that day because we had been running around. We started our errands kind of late on Saturday. So I was home, I cooked dinner, we sat down, we ate, and then I was like, oh, all right, we ate, we cool, it's time for Verzus. I literally went to Verzus page at 8:00 on the dot, because we don't ever start on time. So I went.
They have the background music going.
Yes, and I went in exactly at 8:00, y'all. And I was like, okay, so they don't have a live going. I was like, look at us being late. And I just saw the picture of Ashanti and Keisha. I was like, well, it says it's still on. Some told me to click on the picture. And then I clicked on it because they just had the picture up. The normal Versus picture with they both.
Yeah, and the caption.
On it, and I read the caption. Luckily, I didn't just look at the picture. I read the caption. And it had just been posted an hour ago. So they really only technically canceled this an hour before presentation.
I think they were trying to figure out how they could make it work from her house. How Apple could kind of like figure out how to do it. but it was gonna put too many other people at risk, and she is positive.
Yeah, like she couldn't have anybody reporting because she had to be quarantined by herself in the room, right?
That's
Dang.
what you're supposed to be knowing when you test positive for COVID-19.
Well, I don't know. I don't know what happened. And she probably didn't contract it when she was out of the country because she would have been over it by now, I guess.
Who knows? But all in all, I'm glad she didn't infect Keisha. So, we can reschedule this and move on. But moving on, so they had to replace somebody with them in the meantime, in between time, and give us something. So they decided to give us E40 and Too Short from the Bay.
E40 and Too Short. See, I'm looking, y'all. I'm not ignoring. I'm actually looking on here to see what's going on. But yes, E40 and Too Short. First of all, I'm trying to put these two together. I mean, it's gonna be a good show regardless, because I mean, look at your face. Stop.
I just don't care.
You don't care for them?
I just don't. It's not something that I'm geeked about, is what I'm saying.
Oh yeah, no, it's nothing to really be super excited over like that. But if you're from
from the Bay, yes.
Deal. And not even just from the Bay, Janay. It's also from because Too Short, isn't he from Miami?
I don't know. But if you're from them places and you excited.
Yeah. It's actually a generation probably before us who will also be super
excited. It's the generation right before us, because I didn't really get into,
we sucked our little bums a little bit when we weren't supposed to.
Yeah, but what's my favorite word? But can't do it like show. Like I'm okay. It's only so much of that I care to hear.
Yeah, that's the thing. So that's why I'm like, So yeah, no, I'm actually looking at it, y'all. I'm trying to see. I'm also trying to see y'all.
It looks like it's when I scrolled through the comments earlier, it looks like it's the decision, like not. The consensus is that people don't really know how they feel about it. A lot of people are excited, and then the half of the group is just like, I don't want Keisha and Ashanti to get well.
Yeah, that's the main thing. I mean, I think it'll be fun. I'm not gonna lie. I think it'll be fun. I think once you start hearing it, Janay, I think you're gonna be like, okay, I mean, I am having a little fun. I think that's what's gonna happen when you start hearing them go back and forth.
Don't get me wrong. I'm gonna watch it.
Oh, I know you are.
Because I like to be nosy. So I'm definitely gonna watch it.
Yeah. But yeah, so that's the main thing. We got that going on. But also, y'all, in sad news, we're gonna say rest in peace to Debo.
Yeah.
I know that's not his real name, but if you don't know him as Debo, then we probably shouldn't be. You shouldn't be listening to this podcast.
This might not be the culture for you.
For you. But yeah, that one hurt me. That one hit me too, because I'm like, what? And then I also read that he was a couple days before he passed, he felt that he had COVID.
Yeah, I heard that he contracted it twice though.
Oh, I didn't read that.
I don't know that to be factual. Don't quote me on that. I just heard the streets say that. So but I haven't looked up anything or confirmed anything like that. And I don't know what the cause of his death was either. But he's not the only actor that passed away this weekend.
Nicole, I believe her name was.
Yeah, Nicole. She played in
Babs. She played in, what is it? How to Be a Player. She played in the show Eve. I could go on because she's actually a very popular actress. Honestly, I'm so mad that I can't think of her name right now.
Yeah, but rest in peace to them. I know not just looking it up, but it's like 2020 is just taking everybody out. Like, I know we say this every year, but we like, oh man, like this year, but nah, bruh.
I said
This year we lost Kobe Bryant. Like, we lost a lot of people this year.
Natalie Reed. I said Nicole. I'm sorry. I apologize, but it's Natalie. Super popular. I'm just like, what is going on? And she died from colon cancer. The same thing that Chadwick passed.
She didn't also, I guess we also didn't know she had that either. So it's just, you never really know what people are battling with, and just be kind. It don't hurt you to be kind to others, y'all.
Now, she said that. That is the truth. And give them their roses while they're here.
Yeah.
Because it's a very, we're living in a weird, and I use that word because I don't know how to put it, but we're living in a very weird time right now. Like, never thought that I would be saying that, but Janay, like, what the hell is going on? Like, what is going on? It's like, it's the deaths. I mean, think about it. We are walking in grocery stores with face masks on.
I'm like looking at people like, do I know? They look familiar, but I can't tell because they like this, covering their face, and you can only see their eyes. And I'm like double taking on people like, is that such and such eyes? Does it look like her?
I don't know.
It's strange, but I say get your house in order. Get your stuff together. That's the old people saying, get your house in order. Like get yourself together, because we don't know. Honestly, people are like, I'm ready for 2021. I'm ready for 2021. I don't know what I'm ready for. I don't know what's around the corner.
No.
I don't know if
after the 31st pass, it's the first. All it is going to be Thursday. Then the first is going to be Friday. So it's still going to be another day. I know I'm ready for. I've been saying 2020 is crazy, and let's see what 2021 has to bring. But if something don't change on the 31st, it's not going to change on the 1st. Let's just continue to just do better. Like she said, get your house in order. That's all.
I don't know what's around the corner. I pray that it gets better, but I don't even know. Like it's like a weird limbo feeling. Like what's around the corner, you know? So, y'all, just yeah, get it together. And also, while we're on the getting it together note, making sure you go ahead and vote for the Senate. It's December 14th is early voting in Georgia.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's the same in every state. But I know for us it is around that time. What did you say, 14th, right?
Yeah, the 14th. Make sure you go vote. That's this coming week. That is tomorrow. That is today. Make sure you're definitely going to vote.
I'm looking at my calendar.
Right. I'm probably gonna go vote on like Friday or something like that. That's my day to get stuff done. Yeah. And I've never voted for Senate before, but I'll be voting for the man with the dog probably, but I'm not endorsing him. And
y'all heard last episode, her and this dang on dog.
No. So yeah, I don't know who I'm voting for, y'all. Don't listen to me. But do your research and do what you have to do for you and your household. Also, I was just reminded that, like, how crazy this year is. This has nothing to do with what I'm saying, but what we're talking about. But I was looking through my little journals, and I wrote January the 1st, 2020, like, this year gonna be this, whoop de whoop, blah, 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 blah. And then in the middle of me writing, I stopped writing. I didn't even finish it.
And never went back.
Like, if I can find it, I will. But that goes to show you, like, I literally just looked at that. I was like, well, I think this is it. I was like, well, I guess that's how 2020 is gonna go. Because I sat here and I was just like, okay, here it is. For those of you who are on YouTube, okay, don't worry about this. My daughter wrote on my paper. But this is, I literally stopped. It says January 1st, 2020. Well, hello there. Where that came from, I don't know. It says, welcome to a new decade. Welcome to 2020. All like, and I put a whole bunch of exclamation points. I said, I am so disappointed in myself. Hold on. For the amount of, I'm so disappointed in myself and for the amount of non-journaling that I did last year. Okay, last year I sucked last year, 2019. I said I hate that I start I start the new year so hype, and then the hype dies down after like the first few weeks. But I plan to be more consistent this year and plan to really buckle down and get. And that's where it ends. And 2020 took over my journal. That's what happens. And there is nothing. Man,
that goes to show, bro.
What happened in 2020? I set out to be great, and I wasn't.
What you trying to say is this whole year is your fault?
Basically. Just finish the journal entry. Then maybe we wouldn't be in this mess.
Only if it worked that way. God, I wish it would.
Oh my God. But that was so funny to me when I found that. I was like, classic 2020. I couldn't even finish a journal entry. Like, I just stopped.
That is a good one. I like that.
Crazy.
Wow.
Okay, so guys, we normally do a relationship corner, but today we're going to do a special episode of story time today for you.
My wine ready.
So we got our wine ready. I'm drinking some California Root Sangria that was given to me by Pataji, aka Najah, who's sitting to the left of me. I don't know if she really left on when I look at her, but I guess she right for y'all.
She right.
So I'm gonna go first with this story time, and Najah's gonna give her little story time, and we're gonna wrap this thing up. So grab your wine, and I also want to point out that our glass says "Wine After Whines." I don't know if you can see that, but it's so cute. Oh, that's how the YouTubers do it.
That's how the YouTubers do it
together. Okay. So, for the sake of this story time, I will be editing out names and because I don't want nobody's business out in the street but mine, okay? So, this is the story of when I traveled to Florida for a boy that I had no business traveling to Florida for. Let's just jump right in. So, what had happened was me and my friend, I'm gonna go ahead and put her name out there because Melanie. We were out of high school, but probably like fresh out of high school. And we met these boys at the club. This is when you know you make questionable decisions in your life. Kids, listen up. Don't just listen to the story. So we met these boys at Wild Bill's.
Wild Bill's. Yes, that's on my side of town. Please continue with the story.
Okay, so Wild Bill's, I don't even know if it's still a thing, but is it?
I don't know. That's a good question. I don't think so. I know the building's still there.
It was a club that on certain nights it was a good mixed crowd. You can meet all kind of walks of life. It was also like a country spot too, right? Like you could do line dancing and all kind of stuff in there. But anyway, we went on the I don't want to say the black folk night, but that's the night we went on. The hip hop night. What you say, Najah?
Urban night.
The urban night, yes. That's the night that me and my crew went. So back in my day, I used to find club boyfriends. So this was so that other boys in the club wouldn't mess with me. So if I had my club boyfriend, I'd be like, oh no, I'm with him, which is a lie, but I was with him, so the other dudes could leave me alone. And my club name was Ashley with 2 E's. And yeah, you know, and it rolled off the tongue every time. What's your name? Ashley. Mm-hmm. So then, okay, so we picked up, okay, so we conversed with these guys. We became cool. We exchanged numbers. There's a group of them, a group of us, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, we just, hey, he wasn't from here. He was from Florida, the guy that I was trying to talk to. And his mom lives in Georgia. So I visited his house in Georgia, like all kind of stuff, girl. And I thought this was like it. I thought this was the one. Because first and foremost, just found out today that I had been talking about marriage since I was like 17, 18. I didn't know that until I found, like, I was looking, like I said, I've been looking through some of my old stuff. And I'm like, why was I talking about marriage that young? Like,
right.
I don't know. So I was so mature for my age, but that's besides the point. So, yeah. Long story short,
Don't make it
he
short.
went back.
Don't make it short.
He went back to Florida, and he was like, yo, like, you need to come out, come visit me, blah, 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 blah. So this was my very first road trip to any place without like a parent or anything like that. Me and my friend, we got in the car, we gassed it up. We told her dad that we were going to visit her aunt in Florida, which was true. We did go there. But we also got a hotel room and we stayed at the hotel. Okay, so and it wasn't a nice hotel either. Like, it was like, you know, whatever we could get, you know, get going. Anyway, so we road tripping up. We listening to probably Danity Kane or something. I can't remember, but what group? But, you know, we in the car. We run slow. We doing things that the girls don't do. Yeah, those things. So, I was almost, okay, I'm gonna get to that. Let me pencil that. Okay. We get to Florida, and immediately, because he was like, you coming? Y'all on the way, blah, blah, blah. We texting the whole time, yeah, I'm coming, blah, blah, blah. Can't wait to see you, you know, kissy face, whatever. I get there, and he's acting real shady, like super shady, like gave me the side hug shady. And I'm like,
oh, hell no. Not the side hug.
The side church hug. I said, what is happening? I'm so confused. So I'm like, this is not the energy he was giving me when we was in Georgia. And this is not the energy he was giving me while we was texting back and forth while he was telling me to come to Florida to come see him. And so when I got there, we were sitting in his room. And by this time, I hadn't lost my virginity. Just put that out there. I don't know how old I was, but I know I hadn't lost it. But I was willing to give it all away today. Okay? I was. Because he was cute to me. And I don't know why. I just thought,
this is it.
So stupid. I just thought this was it. I was like, okay, so this is going to be it. You know, I'm preparing my mind, my body, and my soul. And we were playing Call of Duty on his in his
PS1.
Huh?
Is it on his PS1?
Probably a PS1. And I remember he had a projector screen, so he had it real big on his wall. So I remember playing Call of Duty. You know, his brothers were there. My friend was talking to one of the brothers or the cousins, a friend or whatever, a part of the group. So they went somewhere and I went with him, and he was just not giving me no play at all. And I'm like, I traveled far to come see you. And he's sitting on the other side of the room. I'm like, do my breath stay? Am I ugly? Like, what's happening? Because you was just all over me a few weeks ago in Florida, in Georgia. Girl, come to find out, he broke up with me before we could even get together. He said, like, I can't remember if it was the next day or the same day, but ultimately he was just like, yeah, so me and my girl are working it out now. We're getting back together. So that's why, like, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, but you made me drive all the way out here. Did y'all just work it out 10 minutes ago? So he was like, yeah, I'm sorry or whatever, but we working it out, blah, 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 blah. And I was livid, okay? Because not only had I decided I was going to give myself away to this man.
Right.
I missed Sammy's pool party, Sammy the singer. I called my friend Boogie, who was Sammy's manager / DJ / roommate. I called him and I was like, he was like, yeah, we at the pool party, you coming? I'm like, no, I'm in Florida, you know, chilling with this guy. He was like, oh man, you know, I wanted you to come through to the pool party. And by that time, I thought I probably had a chance with Sammy, but I didn't. But I'm like, so you made me miss Sammy's pool party for this?
For this?
Y'all, I don't know where I could have been. I could have been singing backup or something by now. But no, I'm sitting here with y'all, drinking this wine, telling y'all this story about how I went to Florida for this boy who couldn't stand me, obviously, and got back with his girl. Update, he's married now. They got a child with the wood, but I upgraded. So I'm fine. He don't look.
Are you friends with him on Facebook or something? We'll talk about that later.
We are friends on social media, but they ain't got nothing to do with nothing. He tried to act like he didn't know who I was one day, but this is more recent. This is a long story. This is another story I'm gonna have to tell you. But anyway, I feel like I won because I was able to upgrade, and I have 2 beautiful children. Not saying that his kids aren't beautiful or nothing like that, but I'm saying, you know, I made children with a handsome man, and I'm happy that I did. And the moral of the story is, ladies, don't travel for penis. That ain't worth it.
It's a Florida.
To Florida. Florida is the wrong place to go to try to hook up with somebody. Don't do that. Because I mean, I didn't know it back then, but Florida guys and I did. Sorry.
That's a hilarious story, but it was kind of sad because I feel bad.
Yeah. I felt stupid.
Oh, Janay.
But that's my story time of the day, friends and family.
Hey, was she like, you want to go fight him? Because that's what I would have said.
Well, my friend, when she was trying to hook up with the guy, he come to find out he had a girlfriend too. So I think that maybe they didn't think we was actually come to Florida, but we actually drove our behinds to Florida. And cheers.
Cheers.
Was that a long story time? Should we save your story time for next time?
I don't think it was that long. I just feel bad now.
Don't feel bad for me, girl. I am in a great place in my life.
No, not just that. I mean, that you missed Sammy's pool party.
No. I went to the pool party the year prior to that, and it was fun. Me and some of my friends went. And you know I don't swim, so I would have just been there like looking.
The one who jumps in the pool looking crazy.
Yeah. No, not me. And back then I was real cute. Like, you know what I'm saying? My body had just started to kind of get a little shapely, but not too curvy, but you know, just enough so I can be like,
Cool. Poke a little bit.
Or maybe I was in that awkward stage and I didn't know it, which is why I didn't get none. I don't know. But the moral of the story is,
don't travel for some penis.
Florida penis is not the move. Sorry for all you Floridians out there. I've been scarred for life.
Oh gosh. Well, Janay, that is a very upsetting story, but at the end you did win.
Thanks.
I don't know if the end I wanted mine. My little story. So guys, I'm gonna start off my story by telling you guys, I'm a very nice person. I am a loyal friend. Very loyal. Probably a little too loyal sometimes. Let's put it that way. Every altercation or fight that I've been in, probably minus one, it's been because I'm always defending somebody. Ever since I was in high school, because I've been getting fights in like middle school and elementary and stuff. But high school, I fought a girl. Not just me, I jumped in a fight, several, because my friends were in the middle of something, and here comes Najah. One girl, because she wasn't winning. I was like, God, I gotta help this girl. It was a big girl too, and at the time I was not big. I was your average size. I mean, maybe a little thicker, but I was never crazy. I was like, I can't let this happen. Here I go.
You didn't know the 1-2 pull 2 back then.
I didn't know 1-2 pull 2. I didn't know that then. So I went in with the windmill. Second fight, senior skip day. Well, I actually got into a few more before then. Like I said, mostly all of them before for somebody. Senior skip day in the middle of downtown Atlanta at the Underground, I got into a fight. Defending somebody again. But that isn't the kicker, guys. I actually got in a fight in college. Yeah, got in a fight in college, right outside the dining hall. And this fight, once again, had not a thing to do with me. But the thing was, this time, my friend, boyfriend, and this other girl, I think she was trying to talk to my friend's boyfriend. And they were trying to holler at each other, because me and my friend dated guys that didn't stay on campus, i.e. my husband now. This was actually his friend. We dated them. We was dating them at the time. And this one girl, they used to come to campus and they kick it with us. And, you know, they was these country dudes that all the girls wanted. They were a little older than us. So this one girl did want my friend's boyfriend. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think my friend's boyfriend kind of bit back a little bit, because we weren't, you know, like, we were just dating. And so they got into it. Nothing, they didn't fight. The girl and my friend didn't fight. They just words back and forth. See, I'm not gonna argue with you, obviously. I'm not gonna argue with you. I'm about action. Now, not anymore. I'm nothing like that anymore. That was back then. And so her friend decided to jump in. And I was like, man, this girl ain't got nothing to do with this fight. Who am I to be talking? But I'm like, man, this girl ain't got nothing to do with this fight. And I was like, man, just stay out of it. That's all I said, Janay. I was like, just stay out of it. This between them. B-word, you don't know something. I'm like, girl, I ain't got time for your ugly behind. That's what I said. And she said, yo mama. Bruh, you don't talk about my mama. I turned around. I probably did a 1-2 pull too. I went ham on that girl. Next thing you know, I thought she grabbed me. I'm like, this girl got me like in handcuffs. Man, the police had me, threw me on the car. Oh. Oh my gosh, am I being arrested? And yes, I was being arrested, y'all. I got arrested over a fight, over some mess that didn't have nothing to do with me. So I'm gonna take y'all a little further in the story. So we go in. I'm like, dog. Me and her get taken by 2 different cops. I'm in this car like, dude, I promise you, this is what I'm saying to the cop. I'm like, man, do you like, we can just forget this. Like, I'm shaking. I'm saying something. I'm like, do you really like have to do this? He was like, yeah. He's like, it's just protocol, ma'am. And I'm like, oh my gosh. I'm sitting here thinking, okay, so what am I going to tell my parents? I am 4 hours away from my home. Like, they trust me to go to college. Like, my whole life flashed before my eyes. So I'm in here. He's like, but he was actually a really nice cop. He was like, when we get in here, just do exactly what they say. You probably won't be here long. You're probably just going to be in a holding cell. They're probably not going to take you in as long as you can get bail money. I'm like, bail money? Like, well, I guess I'm gonna have to go. I ain't got no money. And then, but during that time, I don't know if you guys know anything about when you were in college, like it was towards the end of the semester anyway. So they do this thing called book buyback. So they buy back your textbooks. Now I think a lot of stuff is digital, but back then we had textbooks. So they buy back your textbooks. So these like $300 books, they'll give you $100 for them. Because my parents bought my books flat out. So I'm like, his book buyback, go sell my books. Like, I'm like, go, you know, and they knew to do it too. So, well, my friend who was gonna bail me out, my best friend who I got into this fight over, she called my boyfriend, which was D at the time. She called him and I don't know if he gave bail. No, he didn't give bail money. What they did was that my friend sold her books back and she got me out. And then, of course, you know, once I got out, I sold my books back and gave her money back. But that's a whole different part.
The bail.
What they did was pay a bail bondsman. So, like, my bail was like some thousands or something. I don't know, something like that.
Oh, yeah, but you pay a percentage or whatever. Yeah.
10%. And then if you don't, you got to pay this back if you don't show up for court.
Yeah, I'm familiar. Not because I went to jail, but that's another story time. Go ahead.
So we had to do all of that. They sold the books back. They got me out. But while I was in this holding cell, first of all, I thank God that I had put on matching socks that day with no holes in it. Because I think about that all the time. I even remember the socks I had on because I was like, dude, I'm in here in some striped socks right now. Like, they gonna eat me alive. But it was me and this like trailer park white girl in there. And I just happened to come in during lunchtime. He's like, because I told you he was right outside the dining hall. We just finished lunch. They were about to serve lunch, boy. He was like, this lady coming, she was like, you hungry? I was like, no. The girl was like, yeah. She's like, I've been here several times, da-da-da. And I'm like, oh, okay. And the girl was nice, but she was a little crazy. Who was in the cell with me, y'all? I wasn't specific about that. She eating this food. It looked like mush. It was horrible. I didn't get any, but I was just watching her eat and everything. And I'm just like, this is crazy. But I sat in there for a while. I remember my mug shot. Like, my hair was straight and it was down. And I was like my head was tilted to the side.
Oh, do you still have a mug shot?
I looked that mug shot up and I cannot find it. I cannot find it anywhere.
Oh,
so,
man.
That's something that happened. But yeah, all in all, I ended up paying the people back who helped me out.
So you're not a felon, it ain't on your record.
It was a misdemeanor. So I had to go to court. That I didn't have to do community service for. I did have to do community service for another situation, but that's another story time. And it was in college and everything. But that wasn't a part of this. I just paid my bail. I pleaded NOLO or something like that. And I know that was a long story, but yeah, guys, I was arrested.
You're a whole criminal.
A whole criminal. I was arrested.
Can you believe? We don't do background checks for this podcast, huh?
Girl, sure. Obviously, they said like if you pay this money, you do what you have to do, it'll be expunged. I always thought that it would never be expunged, but obviously was. I got a decent job. I got license. I got so much stuff. So I'm like, oh, I have credit. I don't even know if credit depends on it.
Did you ever, is your license expired?
Listen, why are you telling? As soon as I get off from recording, let me get online.
I'm done.
I drove all the way to your house for the photo shoot, girl. Expired license, bruh. I was like, oh my gosh. And I didn't notice until I was speeding. I was like, I need to slow down. I don't have valid license.
So you like to live on the edge, huh?
It appears to be that way, right?
Sweet Najah out here throwing punches.
Throwing punches. Didn't know what I was.
That girl follow you on Instagram and see you doing your boxing sessions.
She could. I don't think she do. I don't think neither one. I remember both of them, but yeah.
The girl is who is your best friend, not your best friend no more.
No, we still best friends. We didn't talk. We didn't laughed about it since. But in the back of my mind, I'm like, B word. Mm-hmm. No. She know. She listens. She know.
It's always your friends that get you out here doing crazy stuff.
Wasn't even my fight, bruh. I was just like, man, I just got arrested over something. But that B word said my mama, okay?
Yeah, you can't talk about nobody's mama.
Just think if she said something about Tiffany. Y'all, we ain't playing that.
Nah, Tiffany might have to fight her own battle. Tiffany be out there fighting for herself.
First of all, that is not even in your mama's characteristics to be fighting something. So people like, no.
My sister, if I ever had to get in a fight, it's probably because my sister done mouthed off. And then now I gotta be like, okay, so now I gotta fight.
Oh, I gotta fight. God dang.
I'm sorry. I'm a lover, not a fighter.
I am too. I know that don't sound, but I am too. I am such a lover, not a fighter.
That temper seemed a little short, a little thin.
It was back then. I ain't gonna lie, y'all.
If you push me continuously, then yeah.
Yeah.
I got that same situation going.
That's the thing. It's like I'm pushed sometimes. A lot of times I am pushed and I don't know, I'm just loyal. Like I don't want nothing to ever, like you ain't gonna mess with my friends. And not like I don't have many. I don't consider a lot of people my friends. I consider people associates and stuff like that, but I don't consider a lot of people my friends.
So you a family friend out here in these streets and somebody like tried to like, you know what I'm saying?
I got you. Like I'm here for you. I'm here for you. You know in this.
Would you go to jail again?
Listen, let's not talk about.
Let's not that lawyer. Right. She said, she's like, look, I'm lawyer, but I ain't finna go to jail for you, lawyer. Not no more.
I mean, if I have to, I will. I mean, but I'm just saying, y'all, I have to interrupt. I'm so sorry if y'all just heard my son walk in the door. He just walked in and said, Mommy, hey, Mommy, what you doing?
Oh.
I'm sorry. But it's okay.
So we're going to move on to this wine of the wine tip of the week, which is for Najah. Don't sweat the small stuff. Just for Najah, she needed to hear that. So, y'all out here. Basically, at the end of the day, I know we talked about this before, but you have to be reminded sometimes. It's too much stuff going on out here in this whole entire world for you to be thinking about little things. Like, there are bigger issues in life than the small stuff. Don't sweat the small stuff. Take stuff a day at a time. Take it a second at a time. Take it a minute at a time. And move on. And you can't just try to carry all the cares of the world in one setting and try to fix it all. You can't do that.
Exactly.
If this year's proven anything, it's proven that we should all just woosah, take a minute, what do you call it? Not decompress, but it's too much wine I've been drinking.
I'm hot. Do y'all see my cheeks are flushed? I'm like, oh my gosh, these people see my cheeks are flushed.
We need to take some time and get our life together and take it a step at a time, a day at a time. Okay, that's all I'm saying. Your tip of the week. Enjoy.
Joy.
So this is my honest moment for this week. Janay's honest moment. Let's give it up for my neighbors. Okay, stop clapping. So my neighbors have been bullying me silently, and I'm gonna tell you how. In my little cul-de-sac, everybody in the little cul-de-sac got their little like Christmas lights up, and I'm the only one in the cul-de-sac don't have their Christmas lights up.
See, I'm ready to fight. You talking about but hold up. See, I have not grew up yet. Because obviously I was ready to drive out there. I'm like, they bullying you?
They bullying me to put my lights up. And I feel judged when I come outside and then, they throw their hand up. They looking like, well, where your lights? Because all of us got our lights up and I'm messing up the cul-de-sac vibe. So I feel bullied, and I want y'all to not feel bullied by your neighbors. If you live in an apartment and then they got the little, the little fake candles that you put in the windows of the apartments and stuff.
Yeah.
You don't gotta put those in your apartments. If they got the wreaths on their door with the ribbon and the lights, you ain't gotta do that. Don't feel bullied by your neighbors. I almost not want to put nothing up because I feel bullied.
Girl, put some decorations up and keep it moving.
They done went all out. They wrapping their mailboxes. They wrapping they stub up a tree. The ones that don't have no leaves on it or nothing, they wrapping these trees. They wrapping these mailboxes. They wrapping these doors and everything. And the columns on their house, the bushes in the front, like everything got lights on them. And I'm sitting up here with my porch light on.
She's sitting with her porch light on.
With my porch light and my garage lights on. That's the only lights I got in front of my house right now. You drive by, it look like a whole embarrassment. Like, I'm just the only one.
Listen, y'all, it's the same thing in my neighborhood. So I'm with Janay on that. I'm tired of my neighbors bullying me. Everybody got something out on their lawn and everything. And we have nothing. Nothing. My daughter is steadily telling me, like, Mommy, we gotta get these. We gotta get this. So
I ain't got no lights. I didn't put up my Christmas tree.
Oh no, we got Christmas tree up as of yesterday. So I'm getting something.
So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go buy one of those virtual light things that shine at the projector lights that shine at your house, and do the little rotating thing at my house. And I'm gonna put some candles in the windows and maybe change my wreath out to a Christmas wreath. And that's gonna be it. And they better embrace me.
Embrace
I feel real judged when I be backing up my driveway and I be like, hey y'all, and they be like, don't do that. I don't like that. So if you my neighbor and you stumbled upon my podcast, don't do that. Cause
don't do that.
My neighbor right next door to me, they older. They put a plastic wrap over their mailbox because it was raining yesterday. So they ain't want nothing to happen to they little
I was like, maybe this is something that shines at night.
Nah, they put it up because of the rain. I said, look at them. And then they supposed to, old people watch the weather. So it's supposed to rain again tonight. So, they probably kept it on there because it's supposed to rain again.
That's so funny. Oh my God, you got me cracking up over here. Cause I was almost ready to bust. I was getting ready to come like, they bullying you. What? See, this is why I was arrested. Let's not do that. Let's not do that.
That's my honest moment. And honestly, I guess maybe one day I'll get the lights and maybe one day I won't. I don't know. Go ahead.
She's so silly, y'all. Well, since Janay threw her honest moment, y'all know my knowledge of Najah has been turning into a lot of honesty. Besides just knowledge, but you can take this as knowledge. So today's knowledge with Najah is about her husband Ladarian. He's been home the past few days. He's been off work, and he tells me, guys, because he's sitting here watching my normal parenting throughout the week go down. He tells me, babe, why are you being so strict? Can you believe it? Look at your face. See, your face explained that you understand where I'm coming from. He told me I was strict on Soleil and Phoenix. Because I think it started with So Lay had a snack, and then she turned around and asked for another snack, and I think she got the second snack, but then she turned around and asked for a third snack, which was Doritos. And I was like, no.
Was it the red bag?
The red one.
That's my weakest friend.
That's your husband's food of choice too, if anybody paid attention to Paper grooming.
Not the Doritos.
He was just like,
what Christmas music is going on?
Music. But that's beside the point. He tells me I'm strict. And I don't think it was just because of the snack thing. I think it's just how I am throughout the week. So like, I'm like, you're in bed no later. Didn't say by 9:30, but if you're in bed at 9:30, you're pretty much late for me. And I guess it's the bed thing, the no sweet, no juice after a certain time. Like, it's no juice. It's barely any water. No, you cannot crawl. You cannot fall asleep in our bed. Like, he's like, yeah, y'all can go sleep in there. Yeah, you can have 2 fruit snack packs. You can have this. You don't have to go to sleep yet. Let them stay down here. Why they can't have it? And I'm like, but when you get home from work at 11, he gets home because he works nights. So when he gets home at like 11:20, they're sound asleep. The kitchen's clean. Dinner's ready. But this don't all just magically happen, honey. It's because I'm strict, if that's what you want to call it. I'm not giving them sweets after a certain time. They're not drinking apple juice because it still has sugar. They are not, and they're not falling asleep in our bed. When we get ready to go to bed, our bed is ready for us. It ain't 2 little munchkins in our bed. They are in their bed sleep.
Yes.
But this time that he's been off, they have not. They have not been. They fell asleep in our bed. Of course, we put them in our bed, but you got to think, if we're staying downstairs watching a movie or chilling or talking until a certain time, and then it's time to come upstairs, we just want to jump into bed. But this past week, we couldn't because we've been picking little kids up and putting them in their beds. So I just want him to know, like, I'm not strict. I'm a mother. You see, my daddy was like him. My dad was like, oh, you can go to bed anytime. Oh, and my dad, that's my dad till today. Like, so my dad had my kids Friday night. I think it was Friday or Saturday night. Me and him went and did a little bit of Christmas shopping and ran a few errands. And my daddy had them because my mother's out of town. So my dad had them for the entire time. And then I come to pick them up. He's like, oh, they haven't ate dinner yet. I was like, okay, so what have they had, Dad? Because I made them peanut butter and jelly sandwiches before, when I dropped them off earlier. He's like, yeah, they had Pop-Tart. They've had, we had some Halloween pumpkin candies left. I'm like, Daddy, but I mean, it's almost their bedtime. Now they're rowdy. They just did a cartwheel down, those little 3 steps they got out the kitchen into the living. She down there bust her head. I'm like, that's Dad's though. I guess that's Dad's because that's my dad, and that's obviously what Ladarian wants. So I don't know how Drew is, but I'm obviously
my dad let the kids do what they want to do until it starts getting on his nerves. Like, noise gets on his nerves.
Exactly. Until it gets on their nerves.
Yeah.
To us.
Mm-hmm. Well, Najah, I just want you to know that it's okay. You're not strict. You're not a very strict parent. I feel like you're very good to your children. And you do what is necessary when it's necessary.
Thank you, sis.
Mm-hmm. Tell Ladarian if you got a problem with it, if he can come talk to me. And I'll straighten him out for you.
Girl, handle Dare because I'm done.
Because, I ain't gonna let him talk to you no kind of way.
And they love it. They, daddy.
I know my kids wanted to get in the car with their daddy yesterday. They was like, can we ride with daddy? I'm like, okay, you ain't gotta ride with me. I want peace of quiet in my car anyway.
Right. They love him more than they love me.
I don't know if it's just me, but I meant to post this on our page the other day, but my phone had died. But I was like, who else be looking at their kids like, fish your face? Who's looking at their kids like where do you little jokers come from?
I know I do. I be like, what?
I mean, like the stuff they be saying and doing, I'm like, they like real, like little adults, and I just be looking at them like, who gave birth to y'all? Like, who did this? Who birthed these kids?
Like at times I'm like, they so smart, but then I'm like, where did you get that from? Who taught you that? That's me.
Yeah, I just be like, I had 2 whole kids out here.
2.
Not 1, but 2, and I ain't even sure. I wasn't even sure I wanted a 1, but look at me now.
Look, a whole mama.
A whole parent. Whew. Guys, I think we'll look on all this one. And we shouldn't do this no more, but we should. So thank y'all so much for tuning in to this episode of Wine After Whines. Thank y'all so much for watching us on YouTube. Get into this merch. If you would like to cop one of these nice Wine After Wine shirts, get at us. Follow us on all social media platforms. It's Wine After Wines on everything: Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, all of that.
Everything. Just look
on all of that. TikTok.
Yeah.
We on there too. We on Reels, Instagram Reels. We on everything. Follow my our photography page, Janay Najah Photography. Follow Lock Together. LOCD together. And yeah, stay tuned, guys. I know we're closing out to the end of the year. Make sure we stay hydrated and minding our business, okay?
Minding our business. And no fighting, y'all. All right, y'all have a good day. Bye.
Traveling to Florida. All right, bye.
Bye, y'all.